Cool.
All right, hello everyone. We are here with the grand finals. We got Jack coming from the winner's bracket and Urban coming from the loser's bracket. And
Yes,
I
sir.
think
Yep.
we should be good to go.
Mhm.
I just want you to know I've got the gays in my corner.
Ah, shit. I don't want to fight for the straights. That's not.
All right. Is Jamie here? Do we have two commentators?
I am here, yes.
Excellent.
And we may or may not have Cap come in at some point.
Yeah, apparently Cap is stranded at the bus stop at the moment.
Yeah, Cat might just drift in or whatever and start talking about the game.
All right.
Oh my god, that's so fucking funny.
Aw.
That's what you get for trying to take
So-
the bus. Damn.
Yeah, someone's gonna think he's like a lost child and all the calls.
No lifespan.
Can I turn the volume up? Is it the game sound or the commentators? What needs to go up specifically?
The bass apparently needs to be turned up.
What?
Both. Commentators
I
need
can
to
turn
go
it-
up. Okay, I can do that. All right. Anyway, think we should be good to go, right?
Yep.
All right. Let's get this started. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
It's
Good luck.
finals, so we start the countdown at 5. Good luck, Jack.
Cool.
All right. Are you team gay or team Brit? Oh, goodness.
Oh no.
Well, since nothing's happening right now, I'm just gonna start this off and kind of give a quick thank you to everyone who's worked on the tournament now that we're finally here at the finals. So,
Yeah, I'd like to say the same. It's been
everyone who's helped organize. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, you good, Jamie?
Yeah, sorry, I lagged a little bit. Yeah. So, shout out to everyone who's helped organize. Shout out to everyone who's participated in the tournament. Everyone who's given comms, because it's a lot of work that goes into this kind of stuff, and it's just great to see that we kind of finally got to see it all through.
Absolutely, yeah. And also, of course, a huge shout out to Pi for organizing the whole thing. I know you're right there, you can hear us, but it wouldn't have happened without Pi, so
Yeah. Our supreme leader Pi, what would we do without you?
of course. Anyway, about the game, looks like both of our runners got a pretty clean day one extinction, which is good to see.
If
Definitely
Cap were
kind of-
here, he would have gone for Kaizen Day 1 Extinction.
No, I don't think he would have. Maybe he would have shit talked about it beforehand, but then he wouldn't.
He would have been like, I totally would have gone for Kaizen Day 1 Extinction here, and it totally would have worked, but I didn't go for it.
Yeah, I think next time we do a tournament, we're gonna have to gentleman for not doing case and D1E. I think Cap is just going to go for it every time.
Yeah, I mean that's what watching runs from Cap is like, is just he goes for it. For the first 2 attempts, and then he's like, okay, fine, I'll just do normal Day 1 Extinction, whatever.
Jeez. Okay. Anyway, about the run, it looks like Urban got significantly worse pallet placements potentially than Jack did, which is unfortunate, but that does happen sometimes. Usually it will kind of average out. But yeah, that's gonna put Jack in maybe about 3 or 4 seconds of the lead.
Very minute. And I think also Urban accidentally opened up the onion menu here,
Oh,
which
is that what it was?
yeah,
Right. Okay, I missed
which is
that.
definitely a source of time loss.
Yeah. So Pi mentioned in chat both players have agreed not to go for Louis skip, just because it does kind of suck if one person gets it and the other person doesn't, or especially if one person activates the cutscene and the other person doesn't.
Yeah. Generally, we for races, we're just saying don't go for Louis skip.
Yeah, I think almost every race except Cap and I has gentleman to not go for Louis skip, and then of course in that race Cap got it and I didn't, so I ate my words for that one. Oh, did he do Louis skip against you, Curtis? Okay, good to know. Neither of our runners getting the first frame answer here. Disappointing. This is grand finals. You should be getting those sweet, sweet seconds.
You should basically reset at this point if you aren't getting your frame one enters. Honestly.
Yeah, honestly, GG's already. The race is already decided. Both of you lose.
Yeah, both players are the losers. I think Cowie wins actually.
I agree. Cowie wins by default. Oh, did Jack get the first frame? No, he didn't. I'm sorry. This is like the only interesting thing that happens in the first couple of days of the run.
Yeah, I have a rubber band that I'm playing with right now. So
Oh lord. Oh gosh.
actually, that's not true. I'm playing with a multi-tool that's like a bottle opener, a corkscrew, and a can opener.
Those
Is
things
it actually?
are they're fun to play with, but it's so easy to like cut yourself on them, I think.
No, because well, not for me because this can opener is really dull.
Oh, okay.
So like, it's whatever.
You're good then.
Dude, that would be an awesome Pikmin treasure. Are you kidding me?
Isn't there like a multi-tool treasure in 251 or something?
Uh, isn't there a multi-tool treasure in vanilla?
There's like
There's like
the
the
bottle
cutter
opener.
thing.
It's just a bottle opener though. And then there's another one that's just a different type of bottle opener.
Oh really?
Yeah.
'Cause I know there's
Like
impediment
an old
scourge.
style can opener. I thought Impediment Scourge was a bottle opener, and in JP it's like that
Oh,
weird sort of
it's
like
lightning bolt. Yeah,
yeah, lightning bolt. I don't know what that object is supposed to be. Is it like
it's
a
a
zip
milk
popper or
bottle
something?
opener.
A milk bottle opener.
I
That's weird.
presume to go with the milk lids. I was thinking of dimensional slicer. That's the treasure I was thinking of.
Oh, that's the one.
It's
Anyway, about
the
the run for a second. Jack gets a clean egg push. Urban also kind of gets a clean egg push. It was a little bit slow, but that's fine. You are not
Nothing
bottlenecked at this
wrong.
point.
Yeah. Let's hope for no double ledge nectar. No Mai Tights.
No, my tights. Jack getting kind of the ideal nectar situation makes it very easy to nectar all your Pikmin, and then he does not nectar all of his Pikmin.
Tournament nerves. Ah, ledge nectar from Urban. But he does nectar all of his Pikmin, it appears.
Yeah, it looks like. Oh, and they both sort of had one like left behind like that, which is really unusual. I can't say that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Weird Pikmin 2 stuff, I guess.
So in NFL terms, nectaring is when you give your football players steroids.
Can we get the John Madden like yellow marker on the screen? That right there is the ledge nectar. There's a Pikmin right next to it. That's the ship. See, what you're gonna see is the pellet's gonna be moving into that onion right there.
Gosh, we should commentate this like a melee match or something. Just go absolutely nuts over the tiny stuff.
Yeah. Urban dash dancing over to the udder scrap.
But yeah, it's a pretty small difference at this point still. Only like maybe 4 or 5 seconds ish, accounting for stream delay.
Yeah. I mean, like, just going the wrong direction, SH6, for a second. We'll bring it back to about even.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, actually, Urban is losing a little bit of extra time because he had those. He had low Pikmin on the gate because of a
Yeah.
couple little mistakes there. Again, that's all right though. Like you said, it's still anybody's game. No,
It's
actually,
really
it's
too
decided
early.
that it's GG. It's already GG. Gosh, I'm remembering to the Captain Urban match where
Dude.
he was just saying GG like the whole time.
And it literally
the
was
tiniest
just
mistakes.
GG.
Gosh.
Like they both just played fine through the rest of the game, and just Cap lost because at the beginning.
No, okay. I'm not gonna talk about this match. It's over and done with. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're not worrying about it. Cool. Pretty clean EC1. Looks like nobody has gotten any Pikmin leafed or anything like that.
Far citrus layout, so pretty awful EC1. Me personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I were in this if I were in this race, I would have simply just had a close citrus layout.
I think you'd be DQ'd for using the wrong seed. But I respect the attempt to get one up on your opponent.
Jack coming down with 17 Pikmin. That's a really nice number, actually.
Having that one leaf is kind of annoying, can be in some circumstances. Urban is going with a bit more. It doesn't matter, but it looks like he has no leaves with him, so a little bit less likely to get one eaten. You're not cheating, you're not trying. Exactly. So Jack opting to pluck 8 here, whereas Urban is probably going to be plucking 7, since he's sort of the proponent of that strat. When Urban's sort of getting the very uncommon pluck 4 before the cutscene. Oh, and he plucks 9, interestingly. Maybe that was a mistake. Or maybe he can sort of just afford to do that because he got the 4 pluck.
Yeah.
But then one of them isn't coming with him anyway, so.
So it's more like he plucked 8.
Oh, and he had a death somewhere. I didn't see where that happened. Maybe it was a leaf that I didn't notice.
It was, yeah, it was a red, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, not a huge deal, but that is going to bleed him just a little bit of time over Jack in the next few splits.
Yeah, that Awakening Woodgate is a rough one.
For sure. Yeah, other than that, it's been a pretty clean EC from both runners. No major complaints except that little death from Urban, but yeah, it's still a very minor difference in the grand scheme of things. But I think overall, Jack's proficiency at early game is definitely showing through here. Like, he's just remarkably consistent at these parts of the run. Do we have any predictions for like whether they're gonna get lens or anything like that?
I think it will be a layout where TST is gettable, but neither player will get it. and then no lens.
Okay. That's a fair double bread bug crash. See, that would definitely be one for the history books. Honestly, I think TSD is gettable in like a lot of layouts, but it's just not good in most of
Yeah.
those layouts.
I should
Double
say
11.
reasonably gettable.
Yeah, like close to the ship.
Like if you were like really like if you were on like if you were like -20 or something going in, and you're just like and you come across the snagger, you would fight it and it would give you TST and you'd be like, fine, I'll continue this run. Like it'd be one of those scenarios.
Ooh, Jack, walking a little bit too far here, and leaving one extra Pikmin at the onion than he meant to. So that's going to equalize the difference between him and Urban on the split a little bit, since Urban is missing a Pikmin. Oh, and then Urban leaves an extra one as well. Never mind.
No.
It is really easy to do that. Like, I don't know exactly how precise that is, but it feels like it's a very tight window for being able to like optimally move forward and still get everyone to come with you.
That's definitely something that was made easier in 3 compared to the first 2 games.
For sure. In 3, your Pikmin like barely leave your party. Oh, looks like Jack and Urban are doing slightly different routes here. Which is interesting, because I thought Urban did the more sort of modern IID/European route. But I could be wrong.
Well, for an occasion like this, you gotta make sure it's US versus EU all the way. Like,
True. So Jack does not do early knit, interestingly. Early bro knit, for anyone unaware, is what Urban's doing right now, where you sort of throw over the gate at a specific spot to kill the bro knit with 3 reds. At a guess, it probably saves 1 to 2 seconds, so not hugely significant, but it's just something that Jack has never done. Doesn't like it, I suppose, so gonna be a little bit of a difference there.
as runners be.
Ooh, and he doesn't whistle that one red that was left on the ground. Anyway, moving into Holy Beasts. Probably shouldn't see that much difference between the runners on in this cave, besides maybe Empress at the end of it.
Or maybe if it's a weird 4, there might be
Yeah, I guess a
a
weird
difference
4.
in the route that's taken.
Yep.
Yes, the runners are playing on the same seed.
Stone of Glory Skip. Okay, so Stone of Glory Skip is cutting edge tech, honestly, that only those of us in the community who can read the future have consistently decided to go for. Sadly, it's a relatively inaccessible piece of tech that's not available to us, us mere mortals. So, you know, I respect it. They've gentlemen to not go for Stone of Glory Skip, because as we all know, Urban cannot read the future. Jack, in contrast, is Cod's favorite, so he can. But you know, that's not something that you can change about yourself.
Wait, then
Just
why
gotta be
haven't I
born with
seen
it.
IAD do Son of Glory Skip? I thought IAD
I
could read the future.
see IID is like the Hercules here. He's just a demigod.
Well, demigods can still read the future. I think.
You think?
Not very often I do that, but I am doing it right now.
Okay, I'll leave you to doing that. I understand that that may be difficult for you, Jamie.
Oh, that's fair. IID doesn't run pod that much.
Yeah, true. Oh, true. Jack is definitely winning the swag race at this point. Though to be fair, having that red in the background during the Louis cutscene was pretty swag. That was pretty picture perfect.
Yeah. With the Ledge Nectar as well.
Yeah, just chilling. You know, like doing that like, you know, film director like camera lens sort of gesture. I don't know if you know what I mean. Cool. So this layout on Holy Beast 4 is pretty decent. Having the oh wow, I really like what Jack is doing here. Having the bulborb sort of so deep in the candy cane room is kind of fortunate, but you know, you sort of just have to take it. And the my types
Jack
are far
gonna
away
be
as
going
well.
for the egg here because my tights are a bit tough to get. I'm not sure if I would still get my tights here. It's probably not worth it.
Yeah, no. My tights on this kind of layout is not something you would go for. Oh, Urban is going for it though. I guess we'll see. See if it's any good.
Doesn't get fire cutscene, thankfully.
Yep. Can I say, I do really like what Jack did to deal with the bulborb there, where he sort of threw 3 reds for the card aside onto the fire geyser, and then just like dismissed reds onto the bulborb and the Game and Watch to just like get the loading done really quickly. I think that was very smart.
Going for the my tights is a little slow, but it does put Urban up on bug bodies. So that's
Yes.
definitely.
Oh wow, Jack getting truly the god's favorite treasure drop right there.
This is the EU luck that has carried him through the tournament.
And he did get the faster version of Fastest Empress, by the way. Let's see if Urban gets the same.
Alright.
Yeah, he does get the fast kill, but he did get the shake. And what kind of treasure drop is he gonna get?
Not a good
Average,
one.
pretty average. So yeah, even just there on, you know, those tiny little details, those are some seconds that are gonna add up.
So yeah, Jack already out of Hola Beasts. Now for the split that exists, enter White Flower Garden.
Yes. Personally, I think we should use a hack that just teleports you into White Flower Garden after Hall of Beasts.
Hello.
Aha, we have Cap.
Sorry for the delay, y'all. It was crazy, crazy adventure trying to get home in time. I was done with brunch at 1 p.m. local time,
Brunch.
and it took me an hour and a half to get home when I was expecting it to take 20 minutes. So I apologize for the delay.
You're good?
Oh, yeah. No, it's just like because of staffing and complication, I had to take a bus to a different subway station, and the bus took 35 minutes to get to this other subway station. I mean, it was just like comedy of errors. So
Yeah.
it's all
It
good.
happens.
Yep, I see that we're getting into the second half of the first half of Awakening Wood 1. Well, because Awakening Wood, there's no Awakening Wood 2 in Pafta. But, yeah. Underway.
We just did the second quarter, like.
Yes, but, you know, I had to be extremely verbose for no reason.
As
Jack
you
not getting that female sheer grub, crying. It's
all
all good.
over for him. Urban is
Yep.
notably up on bug money at the moment.
Yeah,
by
I
10 to
mean,
50.
and if Jack makes like a 45-second mistake elsewhere, you know that's gonna definitely bite him. What Urban
For sure.
generally does that I do too, this is like also very much an old school thing of making sure is you do a very good job of making sure that you get the purple pounds on the male sheer grubs there really early. So okay, so Urban left a female, but by making sure that you kill the male sheer grubs early, it ensures that you know that they will basically collect.
Oh no.
Ooh. Jack is having a rough time.
Yeah, Jack. I mean, yeah, that mistake's gonna cost him more like a couple seconds, but he did the right thing. Where okay, so what I don't like about Jack here is that he didn't. You don't need the long throw because you're already gonna walk back here and kill this. Because he wasted time with the long throw and the ordering like that, Blowhog is not gonna collect. Urban goes the wrong way, which is a different problem. Not gonna have the problem that Jack had though. But it's gonna be way too hard to get the bug body, and I don't think he's gonna try. I know he is gonna try. I think he's also not gonna be able to collect this, just because like that dismissing stuff is really hard. But he might. I like the. I really like the. I've started to do this a lot more too, where you just do the swarm at the right time and just pick and roll, and it dies really fast.
Mhm.
But yeah, Urban definitely saved time on here. I don't think he's gonna get the body either, but he didn't lose any time managing the Blowhog, so
He was
I'd say
definitely
that's
closer to
acceptable.
getting it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's acceptable. On 3, there's definitely oh, he is waiting for it. No, I don't disagree with it. You know, hey, play to your advantage, right?
Yeah, keep the money up.
Yeah, especially if you assume that you're not getting lens, which I think in a race is a safe assumption, because obviously you're not going to reset. Well, and it's set seat, so even if you reset, like it's like you can't get lens. You either will get lens or you won't, unless there's weird fringe cases. But for the most part, like, you know, having to farm in Perplexing Pool, if it's a serious farm, can take a lot of time. And so if Urban saves some time on White Flower Garden 2 here. So like if he can try to keep it within, you know, 30 seconds, a minute, and Jack has to do a pretty serious PP farm and Urban doesn't, that's one example where we think it could pan out. Jack wanted to do a clever little whistle switch there for some of the extra whites, but it didn't really pan out, and now it's not really max carried. Which
Yeah, that definitely ends up being slower. He only got like 3 extra whites on, and he was missing like 5 Pikmin on the carry in total. So
yeah, the carry equation's weird because it's like addition to a constant. Like it's hard to understand exactly how much as a percentage you're increasing the speed without actually doing the equation. You know, we talk about how many units of speed they add, right? Like 2, 3, 4, etc. But like, you know, when you're replacing, even though like white Pikmin are twice the number of units, so white flowers have a carry speed of 4 units, and non-white, non-purple flowers have a carry speed of 2 units. So you say like, oh well, whites carry twice as fast, which unit by unit is true, but like that isn't actually mathematically how it's affecting the carry speed.
yeah,
and so
that's
like,
a good point.
yeah, and also, I mean, there's all these minutia that I think cost people more time than they realize. Like taking off, like say you're taking off, you know, say you're taking off 3 reds and putting on 3 whites, right? Like, it's hard to know if that's worth it because, of course, first you take the 3 reds off, which then slow the treasure down, and then when you put the whites on, the treasure pauses for a little bit until it corrects. So depending on how long each of those slowdowns take, it might be breaking virtually even.
Yeah, I find in my subsplits that like even if even if I don't get all my whites on, even if I only get like 10 or something, it still seems like it's not any slower as long as it doesn't pause the treasure.
I think the pause matters a lot more on that split than people realize. I agree.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't really know how the mechanics work, but you can kind of get it to reload without a pause in some circumstances. I don't know, it's a bit weird. It's one of those pick and
So
choose things.
basically, there's this thing. So I think it's actually all geography. So like when things slide, like if things are in motion and and it's still moving, it's fine. But once it stops, it has to stop and recalculate. So I think it's also depending on like the surface. That's my theory because it's not entirely consistent.
Yeah, that would make sense. I'd like to point out here that, oh, never mind, actually. Urban was doing sort of the better way of loading the glove here, but it didn't really work out because of the position of the snaggered head. But you kind of want to sweep around it there, it loads a lot faster.
Yeah, well, that's actually why I kind of try to do an aggressive C-stick, just to wrap the Pikmin around, because that's a good example of what I was saying, you know, where, like, depending on where they were grabbing on so slowly and so piecewise that it kept pausing as Pikmin kept loading onto it. Like, you kind of want to get the max load as fast as possible. And I think it's even worth it to get the max load as fast as possible and then maybe trying to swap on 5 whites later. But you just want them to get moving.
Yeah, just starting to move is much more valuable.
Yeah, any case, this is, I want to say, a 25-second deficit, so pretty normal, I would say.
Yeah, that makes
pretty
sense.
reasonable.
That makes
Not
sense
unreasonable.
considering sort of the different choices that have been made, as well as a couple minor pieces of RNG, like Emperor's Treasure Drop.
Oh, I didn't catch that. That sucks.
Yeah, Jack got the God Drop where the treasure was like inside the body, but you know, you can't really adjust for that.
For sure. For me, oh jeez. Dang. So like this split for me and Set Seed, I hate because there's two things that really irk me, and it's basically both of the knapsacks. So like Urban got this, it's inconsistent, but Urban got this, got the knapsack up here like 3rd or 4th try, and Jack got it 1st try, which, that's like 8 seconds right there. Like that's actually a pretty like significant one. And then of course, there's the actual RNG of the Snaggerhole knapsack coming up. We'll see how long it takes Jack here. Like see Jack got 1st try this.
Oof.
So Jack's getting, you know, obviously it's not, you know, I don't want to say bailed. I mean, he's already ahead, but like that is invariably probably going to create like even a wider deficit if Urban also does not get 1st try here.
Yeah.
Like,
It's unlikely that something like that would matter given how races have gone, but hey, we have seen races that are, you know, within 10 seconds of each other, so.
I mean, sure. To me, it's more of just like, it's annoying because, like, functionally, you know, you want to say, like, set seed, right?
Yeah.
The conceptually, the idea of set seed is that there is very minimal, like, RNG differences between the runners.
Good try.
Urban got it in 3, though, which is fine. But, like, it just makes me think about, like, it stacks, though. So, like, 3rd try Chance Totem Knapsack and 3rd try this compared to 1st try both. I mean, that is probably an extra 12 seconds. Like, you know, and to me, I don't know, maybe it won't matter, but I also, that isn't usually how I think about it, like, mid-race, right? Like, it stacks. You know, like, he's 25, if he was 25 seconds back, now he's 37, and that's just a wider gap to clear, you know?
Exactly. Urban is moving decorative goo right now, just for swag points. Definitely respect that.
Swag. Somewhat of a nondescript one. I mean, one is one. It's we'll see. I'm interested to see what seed 2 gives.
Yeah. Can definitely be a huge amount of
Was it
variance.
a curated seed or was it randomly determined?
I believe Pi only checks for towerless and clackerless, and then everything
Okay,
else.
so it's not like it wasn't curated beyond that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, good. I was just curious. Oh, this is an interesting one, and it's good.
Yeah, this is a
Really
great
good.
seed. Ooh, Jack, the flower is going to be right there next to the ship, you know, in this layout. So I think you should have just thrown the reds straight into the flower instead of putting them aside.
I think because I have to do a water crossing here, I mean, I think he's going to have enough time to do it. Depends on how close the thing is. I like this, yes, and don't whistle them, and they're going to collect. It's pretty close, actually. I see what you mean. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think, is that purple dead? No, that purple's not dead. Okay, I was
The
honestly...
red got him.
Yeah, so you see, like, you know, like, they have time to throw in, so I agree with what Jack did there. I'm genuinely surprised that, yeah, Jack's getting some money here as well, which is nice. He's probably, that knit is probably also going to collect, which is fun.
Yeah, okay. It looks like throwing to the side didn't end up mattering. In some versions of this layout, it can. So I sort of just do that as a habit, but you know, unpunished in this case.
Urban didn't even get it, but Urban's better on money as well, so I think that affects it. Yeah, I don't think, you see, like, I think that in this case it's fine. What I think makes the difference, Kemi, also is that if it was rotated so that you didn't have the water crossing, I think it would
Yeah.
be...
Then it would matter much more. Yeah, it's kind of these little things, like Urban being slightly low on Pikmin. He lost one on EC2. I believe he left one in Interhole of Beasts as well. So it's just like slowly sort of adding up to this difference that's gonna be pretty noticeable.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a lot of small things. I mean, it's not really clear.
Oh,
Like,
Jack's
in
wienering
a
us.
lot of cases, it doesn't matter. I mean, I think the biggest place where loss will matter will probably be Enter BK. Like, on an
Yeah,
individual floor, I don't think it makes that big of a difference. For most floors.
Yeah, but it'll probably be like a 5-second difference on your BK, or maybe 3 or something like that.
Yeah, it depends on what Pikmin were lost. I mean, you usually see, if it's just reds, like 4 reds, it hurts, but like, it's... Oh god, I hate when... Oh, okay.
Oh.
I hate when that plants. It's always so aggravating.
Especially because he had a purple,
Yeah.
so you can't.
Well,
Really
yeah,
just-
well, then you have to rescue it too. Honestly, even if they weren't purples, I mean, as we were saying, like, it's one of those things where I'm always very, very zen. Like, oh, like, it's fine when you lose it, but also, like, if you can't always keep losing a couple Pikmin here and there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's fine if you do it once, but, like, a very common problem that some Pikmin speedrunners do all the time is definitely the mistake of, like, oh, I'm just going to casually lose 2 or 3 Pikmin every single time and say it's fine, it's just 2 or 3 Pikmin, until suddenly you've lost 12
Yeah.
overall, and then that hurts.
That definitely used to be me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very common thing for sure. Like, I don't think that it isn't. I think that it is something that every runner learns to balance too. Yes, and there it is. Urban didn't get the flying thing. For a second, I thought it was gonna be a little bit more airborne, and I was scared.
Okay, Curtis, that is me when I'm tilted. I'll give you that. Anyway, interesting.
I should do that.
Yeah. Interesting that Urban went like really crazy on bugs on SH4 here. He's gonna be getting a ton in bug money. So I mean, like, yeah, like he's building up a really substantial bug money lead here. And if we see sort of like a poor bug money seed in the later parts of the run, this could actually sort of backfire on Jack, or at least like, you know, be advantageous for Urban, because you can definitely get seeds that are just where there's just like not that many fast bugs.
I mean, yeah, I think it's fine. I think also there's just this little bit of, it's hard when you're, especially when there's a little bit of agnosticism over like what's going on with your, like with your racer. Like if I was Urban, because I'm already ahead on bugs, I would maybe push the tempo a little bit more, just because like I have more money than Jack. So now the only thing that matters is trying to grind the time better. Oh, yep. Nice.
Did Jack already find the marble?
Yep.
Yes.
Jack found it because it's just in the one of the early 3.
All right.
The
Okay.
thing, of course, is that Urban's gonna save some time here because Jack had the dude jump off, and Urban didn't, and so
Right.
that's gonna be just a huge boon. Urban, this is one of those where I mean, and they're few and far between, but this is one where I think definitively Urban played it better. I think.
100%.
Sometimes I think Urban does the better thing where if he has it lined up, he doesn't try to go for the purple throw, which I do a lot. He just goes for just trying to down it with reds.
Does it always get downed if you direct hit it with reds?
It should be.
Should be.
The
Okay.
only no, do you know what the difference is? Is that if it's standing there, the answer is yes. The only time that reds don't work is that if it's gonna be in the mid jump animation. The reds,
Okay.
the reds don't do it. But
Whereas you can still get a purple stun in that case.
yeah. Whereas the purple will still hit it and it will just fall.
Ooh.
Lens.
Oh,
do have
there's the
a-
lens.
That's
There
that's
it
a pretty
is.
good bonus actually because there's a gate. Hopefully
Yeah,
both
I
of
mean,
them. I'm sure about
yeah,
that.
for sure. The good news is that it's not a weird lens. Like Urban should also. It's not that way. It's not that. Yeah. Okay. He shouldn't have paused twice because there's only 2 directions, and he didn't see it. Oh, run! No. Oh God! Don't. Oh Lord.
Being a little bit too thorough here.
Yeah. Well, so was Jack actually. Jack was just thorough, and he, went the other direction. You see, the thing is that what I hate in the seed is that if it's in like a weird direction, and therefore it's easy for someone to miss. That's the one that you hate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because then you could get one of them missing it.
Yeah, and then that is the one that hurts. Like for example, I mean, this is the Max 25 Classic. When we used to do set seed races with Max 25, there was a period of time where Max would always check the other room, and I would
Yeah.
just run to the exit. And multiple times he would get lens and I wouldn't. And it would make the races insanely close.
I think the thing, Curtis, is that you gotta know your spawn points. So like you gotta know like when you're done checking a room, like he kind of doubled back a little bit more so than he had to. Which is not a
I mean,
huge issue.
I think it was fine. I mean, Jack also did it as well. Like I don't think it was like a super big skill issue because Jack also was weirdly thorough. Urban also got a worse Snaggered hole spawn. Like that's also interestingly, it's interesting to me that's also RNG, right? Because like even though the seed is obviously the same, like the Snaggered was way off to the side with Jack, so we could kind of ignore it and sweep. But for Urban, the Snaggered was like right in the middle of the room, so we had to do a little bit more of an awkward thing that I don't think Jack needed to do. Like this is still like close. I actually didn't look at Jack's money, so I don't know how far ahead Urban is, but he's definitely ahead on money. Oh. Dang, you hate to see it. I mean, yeah, I think the good news is like, I mean, but this is like, I mean, as far as payoff debt runs go, and as far as like the bad go that Urban has had in terms of like luck on like enter SH, etc., like this is still like fairly close. Like, I mean, compared to how unclose some things can be.
Yeah, being within, maybe
Yeah,
about 40
nice.
seconds.
There you
is
go. Good
pretty
job.
good.
Except Urban didn't throw the second blue. That's okay.
Oh, did Jack get extra blues?
Yes.
On message? Oh, he did. Okay, I missed that.
Yep.
Oh, he
which
lost
makes
the
it-
pellet.
Oh god. Oh, that
No.
blue pellet is lost for Jack. GG's. Yeah, 35 seconds. I would say 35 seconds is very reasonable considering. Like, I think this is why it's like one of those things where, I mean, who knows? Maybe it will come down to 12 seconds and it will just be because of the knapsack RNGs. But like 35 seconds. I'm banking 10 of those 35 seconds were just knapsacks. because Urban actually made up some time to Jack in SH. There were some levels that I think Urban played cleaner. The biggest one that I'm thinking of is SH5. Jack played SH2 cleaner, but like there has been a lot of back and forth.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean
Oh,
Jack's
this is-
fine on- yeah.
This is
and
before you showed up,
Jack's,
but
yeah, Jack's fine on I mean, he's still fine on blues. Like, I don't think it's gonna be a problem. Like, even if one falls in the water, like, it's usually not a bad thing. Did Urban get all red pellets?
yeah, you got triple red.
Dude, this
Yeah.
dude's so unlucky. It blows my mind.
Yeah, it's genuinely crazy.
This man. On the... Oh god, that extra little slide when the Pikmin grabbed on ruined it. That's annoying. Yeah, there it is, yeah.
Well, isn't that just because it's a 2 and 3 for the red pellets, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like super duper rare.
It's annoying. I
It's
mean, it's just,
unlucky.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
uncommon at all. You're definitely right. Like, mathematically, it's not uncommon. It's still unlikely, though, right? Like, what, 2/3 cubed is
Yeah.
8, 8 over 81. I mean, it's still, like, it's like 1 in 10, right? It's like, approximately.
Or it'd be 27, right?
Or 27, 8 over 27. So it's not 1 in 10, it's, sorry, I'm stupid.
Like 1 and 3.
It's like 1 in 3, yeah. But you're more likely to get a blue pellet in there than not.
Yeah. It's technically it's less than a 1 in 3, but
JPEP
Not
and I are JPEP is a math guy, so he's good at doing important high level math stuff like reminding me what 3 cubed is. I would do right now for Urban, this is the perfect place to do a perp swap.
I also respect the blue swap there.
Blue swap's fine. I mean, the blue leaves really do nothing for BK.
Yeah, like the only place you could argue that they matter is BK7 for the gate, but still, it's so fast that it doesn't. It's likely not going to lose any noticeable time.
Yeah, I don't think it matters, especially because you get most of the pick like the blues are the last ones that you load onto it. I don't know,
Yeah.
like fractions of a second, I guess.
it's probably better to have the purple that like gives you that much more of a chance to like stun a Bulborb in combat than to
I
have
didn't
them
think about
on the
that.
gate or whatever.
You have a reasonable number of purples. I'm trying to think. So you lose 2 to the chance totem. So if you haven't lost any purples, you should have 18 going in. So like I think 17's fine, but I can see why Urban's just I think trying to go very much. I mean, Urban jokes about this all the time as well. Like Urban's the kind of guy where he's like always, I am gonna finish this run. You know, like if someone soft locks or crashes, like Urban will finish. And I think Urban always definitely plays the races in a way to finish. Which, sometimes loses him some time from some of, like, Jack's more salient plays, but it definitely keeps it, Like, he's the kind of person where I will take more purples than less.
Baking on Cookie is so crazy.
Oh gosh.
Banking on... That is crazy moments in Pikmin 2 race history.
Top 10 anime comebacks.
Yeah, real talk. The
Max is an
worst part
anime
about it
character.
it's not even anime comebacks, it's like anti-anime comeback. Urban was coming back and then Max got cookies. That prevented Max is an anime character, true. That actually what it was. It was a heart of the cards moment. Is oh god the flip. The flip glitch.
This is a pretty good 4 if the glint didn't run off, but
I mean, even then that's fine. Oh god.
I'm gonna bonk Jack with the suboptimal stick again for not whistling his purples off as the Wollywog landed. Like
Like,
you're
he
just
could've just
risking
done
getting
that.
relieved.
Yeah. I mean, this is preaching to the choir because I know that Kemi and I are big agreeing on this point, but like it's actually one of the things I like about. Oh, okay, he went the wrong way. It's fine. Oh no! Oh, ugh. You see, that's where I'm like, you go the wrong way, just stay zoomed in so that you can make the obvious cycle next. But I mean, yeah, he had to play it safe. I get it. Man's had to be safe. Yep.
Oh, Urban, do not get frogged.
Oh,
Just a couple reds. That's okay.
2 reds.
Yeah, you really cannot go that deep trying to look for the frog.
The problem
It-
is he went deep captain first. Is you
Yeah.
C-stick the Pikmin ahead of you so that you can C-stick them back. You don't want the frog to actually directly land on Pikmin. That's...
Yeah, you want to check it with like the tip of your sort of whites as you see stick.
Mm-hmm.
Cat menuing, yeah, that's the old school menu. Yeah. I think
I kind of respect the just using one direction on the D-pad thing, as long as you know how many it's going to be from any given color.
The thing is that you also, I mean, you know, there is also the critique. So Urban is doing this interesting thing where he's going for the nectar. I don't know if I agree with this. Actually, I'm trying to look. What is the...
The layout is top to bottom, so this could end up being pretty significant.
Actually, okay, yeah, well, Urban doesn't know this, but he also
Yeah.
got a lot of leaves because of the Wollywog thing, so... Yeah, I think this probably is gonna actually pay dividends.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Jack has not gotten the... Oh yeah, because it's in this bulborb over here. So yeah, the leaves are going to be pretty... Or the flowers that Urban gets are going to be pretty significant here. I do like the lure, but I don't know if that was necessarily
I mean,
worth
it's not gonna
TM.
be. It's still gonna be too slow. I mean, this is where top to bottom is where it's really, 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 really hard. Well, not even top to bottom, but you want to get this thing moving first. So what I would do because of the leaves is I actually would do the lure first, and just
Yeah,
get it moving with purples, and then go and max do it. You know,
Exactly,
Urban
yeah.
doesn't need to necessarily do it, but I think that like this is one where it just really, really hurts not to multitask. This coming. Okay. Okay. Pick.
Oh.
Do you want to C-stick or do you want to throw like 3 reds, Urban?
Yeah,
This
if
is
you're-
going to be made faster than that, in my opinion.
If you're going to do the thing where you throw reds on it, you really have to be prepared to kind of like shove yourself into the corner and go past it, which is like really uncomfortable. Like you really don't want to do that most of the time, but like you've got to just like deal with that if you want to, you know, sort of have the pretense of multitasking it.
Yeah. No, I think this is good. Like and then he's whistling this, which is fine. And then yeah, don't see. Whatever. Don't kill this. Just lure it. Yeah, he knows. Okay. You see, but then he has a lot of whites for this, and it's gonna work better. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
It's hard because they're now far enough away that it's hard to tell exactly who played it faster. Like I'll be curious.
I think Urban did this better.
On the hazards.
I don't know if you noticed, but Jack accidentally got most of his whites like on a bulborb body instead of on the gem thing on 6. When he was trying to load the thing after luring it. So that one came in like much slower than it should have, whereas with Urban it's coming in first, as it should.
Yeah, this is still like I don't know. I mean, Urban was only back like what 40 seconds, and I think now he's back like over a minute. So like I still think that shenanigans here cost Urban more than it saved.
Just messing with the fire geyser was pretty bad, to be honest.
I think that's good analysis.
Yeah, like you and I were talking about this in the context of like one of our races where I think it was SDX3 where I saved like 10 seconds over you just from like not messing around with the fire geyser. It takes more time than most people realize.
Yeah, Jack. Okay, I'm curious. Okay, so he's just not getting it at all. I don't agree with that. I mean, I guess because you have lens, you can say "fuck it, we ball." I guess, but I don't. Or censored. I don't know. I think that's an interesting call, though. For sure.
Yeah, especially considering that he was already low on bugs. Like he's at this point really kind of banking on the fact that the seed has fast bodies.
Yeah, I mean 5047. I mean it'll do the work. I mean that's the thing. This is the thing about if you're just skipping mine, but Urban probably will have a small skip at this point. Like, this is the annoying thing about going hammer bodies, is that your reward if there's no lens is massive. And there is still a reward if you have lens, it's just smaller. Because, I mean, it depends on FC, but like, Urban doesn't have to farm at all. Like, and he doesn't have to farm anything. Like, he's so good.
Curtis pointed something out, which is that skipping that body lets Jack skip the 70% cutscene.
Right. That's probably what he was doing.
Yeah, that's probably his thinking here.
I mean, I think that's also valid if you're only slightly over. Because, like, to me, it's like, if you're going to be over, like, I want to see what Urban's at here. Like, if you're that far over the line, I don't know. Urban also could have skipped the could have also not gotten the body, I guess. Actually, for all of our talk, Urban's not that much ahead on bug bodies, which is interesting.
It's like
I'm
20
kind of wondering,
ahead.
like, how that happened. Because I feel like I saw Urban get a lot of bug bodies earlier, but if you subtract the bug body from... Like, he's only like 10 bug bodies ahead, which is much less than I thought, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of thought he was doing a bit better than that. I mean, he still does have an appreciable lead, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's sort of in like marginal territory here, where like it may or may not matter.
Right. Well, I mean, the thing, of course, is that you can maybe skip a GK small, but skipping a GK small is like 15 seconds. Which is fine, but like, I guess this is what I'm saying, right? Where it's a 15-second lead, whereas sometimes farming in Perplexing Pool with no lens can take like 25 seconds.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking versus farming, if the seed is bad. Because if the seed is good for bugs, then it doesn't really matter. Like, I think skipping a small would have to be really good for bugs, which is pretty rare. But it being bad for bugs is actually more frequent than that.
5452. Alright. I'm just keeping track of leads and stuff, but no, we'll see. I mean, yeah, I mean the numbers are looking good for both of them though, so that's looking good into yeah, they're both 20 and 20, so that's nice.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see.
And they both had exactly 61. That's funny. Oh, Matites. Oh, I hate that.
It
Should be
shouldn't matter
okay.
with this route, yeah. That's like one of the sort of hidden benefits of this route, is that you don't need to think about it.
My tight ledge nectar.
Yeah, it makes Nectar really easy. Jack has all those white leaves. Gonna be a huge deal, but here's everyone's favorite lifeguard. Easy clap.
I've actually seen Lifeguard fail one time. It was like
Really?
something weird where like the Pikmin that were drowning, like for like one brief moment, like were considered standing on like the land on the side of the wall or something like that, and so they sort of like got up and weren't swimming towards me anymore. I've only ever seen that one time.
That's
Yeah.
I'm willing to call that a skill issue.
Yeah, maybe I was just like standing too close to the gate or something like that.
The IID starting going reds, yeah. That actually, for lens, you're probably right, Curtis, is that wouldn't be terrible. I don't know, I just hate leaves, though. Leaves suck so bad. Even when you grow, like, not a bad idea, though, if you just, like, swarm. You lose nothing by swarming the Matites with, like, purples. And just hoping that the statistics pan. No downside. A skill issue emote would be kind of good. Or insanely toxic. Maybe the latter.
That's kind of the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love to be toxic to my friends.
Of course. Jack having the good timing on the treasures, which is nice.
Yep.
It's always good to see.
Doesn't get the buffered run, but that's a bit much to ask for sometimes.
The buffered run can be hard because, like, I don't know, like they were just spaced a little bit awkwardly. I don't really know. Depending on your internal timing, sometimes, you know, sometimes you just have to wait for it to go. But like, yeah, he's running. He do be running.
Yep. I see Curtis has posted that GIF again.
That gif.
Oh no. Which good.
I mean, it's not like
Oh,
bad. He just
sorry.
posted this GIF like 600 times
Oh,
already.
the skill issue gift. Yes, that's not a bad one.
Oh, Jack with the kind of deep check here in SCX1.
Disagree.
I think
I'll explain how I knew it later, but I was pretty sure.
I didn't catch the come down, but I'll watch when Urban does it and see if I can piece it together.
With these enough alcoves, you could tell based on hallways that there was enough alcoves in the big room with nothing in it. I don't know. I think I'm gonna be curious if Urban can tell. I think Jack maybe was also feeling a little comfy and he didn't want to make a huge error, which is, I suppose, also valid a bit. But I think that this was pretty clearly not in the big room. Because you had, like, the three, you could see on the come down that there was, like, an empty alcove. I don't know. Maybe it's the brightness, and maybe it's the fact that I'm, like, the commentator, but I was kind of able to see it. We'll see if Urban does. I'm just curious.
Yeah, let's take a look.
When there's no hallways and there's that many possible alcoves, it's usually... Yeah, I would just... Okay,
That's
fine.
the kind of
I
thing
guess...
that... Yeah,
okay,
I wouldn't
see, but
do
that was a much faster check. I can respect a check that's that quick.
Yeah, if you're in and out of the check in like 1 second, then nobody can fault you for that.
Yeah, that's fine. But yes, and then you just go. There, I think it's going to be at least be acceptable because you can do the check, like, because the check was so close to spawn, you could do it that fast with no penalty. The Jack dilly-dallied for an extra little something. So, you know, I guess that's, like, in comparison, I thought that was a little aggressive. Urban's still about 1:10 behind, but that happens. Definitely less behind than he was before, though. I mean, he definitely saved some time on that.
Yep.
This one is definitely a little annoying, but staying the zoomed in here is pretty wise. Yep,
I kind of disagree with going for the CPU first.
I think the rush should be fun. No, God, yeah. I think it's hard to tell which one is better, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
this
Not
is
a
the heavier one.
huge
Oh,
one.
what are you doing? You had it. Okay, I don't.
Maybe
Okay.
just a fumble.
Something happened. You know, fumble alert. That was fine. But whatever.
Pi, do you have the race seed, by the way? I want to check something.
I don't hit the CPU first on 2 here was also, I mean, you would be able to notice in advance, but like because the bomb wasn't a problem, you could just kind of like swarm and go. Whereas the gear needed to be more involved, and while that was happening, while he was waiting out the bomb, the other treasure was moving, so like the carry didn't matter. I mean, then he was able to get the whites on the heavier treasure, which is why I think it was fine. But yeah, okay, nothing's. So Urban's like, yes, nothing's over here. GG's.
Yeah, okay, so just checking the cave gen for the seed, the gauge would have been up at spawn if it was in the spiral room for SCX1.
Yeah, I mean, it should have been, right? Which to me makes sense.
Yeah, so like in theory you didn't have to walk backwards at all, but yeah, I don't know.
See, so Urban's going directly to this gear and then taking it down. I don't disagree with this. Unless you're skipping. What are you doing? I'm so shook.
Is he...
I'm not really okay. I don't know what Urban's plan is. If his plan is to skip the beetle treasure, interesting.
Yeah, that's weird.
And I do not particularly.
It is fairly far, but like, so is the gear. So
I
it's
feel
not
like
you're
you could
gaining
just
a lot.
kill the gear and then see where it. I don't know.
I guess getting the whites. Oh,
Oh no.
Well, at least
two
you're getting
whites.
the
two
whites.
blues. Yeah.
That hurt a little.
Yeah, definitely a weird play.
That was a. I mean, I just don't know. Like, I don't think Urban is saving. Like, I don't know. I'm just sort of confused as to what the play is here now, because like you don't have so much money that you can skip. Are you still planning on skipping mine? Are you planning on skipping 2 smalls on G? I don't know.
Surely he's got to skip mine if he wants to be competitive with Jack, because Jack is almost certainly skipping mine. He's very straightforward in what he
I mean,
does.
sure. I'm just very confused as I mean, I don't know. I'll be interested just to hear like the rationale.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, it saves time to skip it, but it doesn't save like, you know, you got to think about comparison, right? Like, do I think that saves more time than skipping mine, which is nearly the same value? Question mark. I mean, it's only 60, so you know, it's a little cheaper than mine.
Yeah, with like stellar bugs, he could in theory skip both, but I think that's kind of a moonshot.
I mean, well, I think then at the very least it's neutral, because then you're gonna have to take the time that it takes to get all those stellar bugs, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh,
The way Jack
Jack
is playing this. Oh my
Jack
god.
is playing with some fire here.
Fast and loose.
I mean, it's fine. It's just slowing him down a little bit. Yeah, see, he grabbed on again. Oh, and then it fell off. See, like, haha, I fell off, but this is now just actually slow. Like, this is
Right
actually just
into
slowing him
the
down.
table.
Like, I feel like that he needed to just get these moving out of danger earlier. 'Cause, like, it's very easy right now to just be like, haha, funny, out of bounds. But, like, that was a very slow sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the way Urban sort of just dealt with all this immediately was pretty good. Oh, and then he whistles off. He's got to
No, he's gonna
Yeah,
get
no.
it out of there. I agree.
Yeah,
I 100% agree with this. Okay, okay.
What?
Well, I no longer agree with it. I was agreeing with it because if you think about the Pikmin numbers, he has 30 whites, right? So you can put 10 whites on that small one and just move. I think that you could have gotten away with that. But then he whistled off, and because you still have the, I don't know. I think what I was gonna say is I think you have to keep it moving.
Ooh,
Oh, good if Pikmin get zapped.
3 whites.
I saw purple in there as well.
Yeah, it's mostly whites. I mean, he has little
He had some
rocky.
extras. Yeah,
He
he
has
did
the
have
whites,
3
so, I
extra
mean, it's
whites from
fine.
3.
It's just obnoxious.
Yeah. I
I
think I
mean,
see
this
what he
was
was
a
trying
hard
to
one.
do.
I think the main problem with that Urban had also is there was a whole bunch of idle whites like where he was throwing that, you know? Like
Yeah.
and if he had those extra whites, he might have been able to get away with not whistling off the treasure that he loaded first, and then having enough whites for the other treasure, and then there wouldn't be idle Pikmin to get zapped. I don't know. I think what neither of them did is they needed to get that middle treasure out of there, because there's just too many bombs. And you could do it with blues, you can do it with whites, but both of them just were trying to get both moving at the same time, and I think it ended up being the slower move.
Oh, yes. Hang on. This is towerless.
Is it?
Indeed it is. Ah, okay.
Grand
Well.
finals, baby.
We now know what
There you go.
was doing here.
Yep, they got the recognition. So, good news. Easy clap. So good news is, I mean, for them, I think the game plan is pretty simple. You just do mana legs.
Yeah.
Well, this is actually complicated now. Hold on, because Urban accidentally screwed himself big.
Yeah.
Urban's gonna kill Pi. Like, Urban screwed himself big, because Jack can just leave and take Aquatic Mine. Urban has to do mana legs and or suffer. Like, there's...
He only skipped a 60, so it's possible that he could get, like,
No, he's fucked. I mean 100? Enough bugs. You could get... What, you have to get TC.
Yeah, you'd either have to get TC or, like, high bugs and Master's Instrument or something like that to skip Manet Legs.
The thing is, at this point, though, but the thing is, even TC's 30 down, and he skipped 60, so maybe it's fine, but...
And, like, you're getting Aquatic Mine either way.
Yeah. I mean...
Let's see what he does. I'm curious.
This is kind of... I don't like this, man.
Oh, no, I mean, Urban got screwed, for sure.
Yeah, he's doing Manet Legs.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, I think Urban's gonna be a little bit angsty. Yeah, this is the right... Okay, like, I at the very least, I gotta give it to Urban. This is the right decision.
I just want to point out that Jack sort of just, like, dropped a few whites into the water on the split.
Cash.
Oh, that is not the quick kill. Well, that works, actually?
Yes,
Holy
it does.
shit.
Yeah.
I thought the health
Quick
had to
kill
be
is
lower than that.
actually quite... I mean, I don't know. Urban and I used to have to do this in Payoff Dead all the time. It's quite
Oh,
free.
true.
It's quite free. It's more lenient than you think because the Manet Legs does not shake. Well, after the initial shake, Pikmin get thrown off its body when it shoots. So you have literally until it fires the gun to get it to 0. Which, as long as you get Pikmin on the body, that's pretty possible. But, like, I don't know. I don't want to be a bad commentator and call it here, but, like, I think that Towerless single-handedly killed the run for Urban. Like, Urban went from being about a minute behind to being 2.5 minutes behind. Like, I think it's just, like... And it's not really even Urban's fault, right? Like, Urban had no reason to believe that there would be a missing treasure. And so, because of that, he played in a certain way where if there was a missing treasure, he would have no backup. Whereas, because it's Lens, like, Jack has basically the perfect 1-to-1 skip. Because, you know, you get the 120, and then you skip the 100, and you get less bugs than you would get if you skipped mine. But, you know, you're still basically advantage on Pokos. Whereas now it's really unclear what Urban's gonna do because he's disadvantaged on Pokos. And he has to get mine. and so it's unclear exactly. Or no, I mean he could skip mine and recoup that, I guess. But like he has too much disadvantage on Pokos. I don't know. Like he might be better off. Gosh, maybe like skipping the 2 smalls in GK6 or something. Like it's hard. I don't know. His money is in a weirdly nebulous spot right now.
Yeah, I guess we could see something weird happen if we have FC6 or time capsule, but that remains to be seen. But yeah, I definitely agree that taking that skip on 3 has really backfired on Urban. And it's... Yeah, like, I suppose he was playing with the information that this is a tournament race and it's probably not going to be towerless, or it's usually they're checked for being
I
towerless.
mean, this is why, I mean, like, I understand the logic, like, oh, wouldn't it be fun if it was towerless, but, like, the reason why that backfires is, like, Pikmin 2 runners, especially on the top level, are going to be making, especially in a race, are going to be making some unconventional calls, where, like, this is the thing, right, like, if Urban and Jack did the exact same thing, then there wouldn't be a problem with it, you know? But the problem is Urban and Jack didn't do the exact same thing, and therefore, instead of being an even disadvantage to both parties, it's something that basically exclusively hurt Urban and didn't really hurt Jack at all. And I think that's the only bummer about Towerless in this particular sense, because if it was in a universe in which they made the exact same decisions, and so they just both like left on 8 and they didn't, you know, and no one skipped the treasure, or they did the exact same treasure route, then it'd be fine. But Urban did an unconventional thing on 3, which granted we didn't expect him to do. I don't think anyone expected him to do that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
because of
and I
that
think-
unconventional decision, the result is that like the missing treasure did not benefit parties equally.
Yeah.
Because like
I guess, to be fair, the skip on 3 was not very good, to be fair. It was unconventional, but also just not a good skip, I think.
I agree. I mean, I don't agree with the skip either. I'm trying to be at least slightly neutral in that respect. But like, like I understand the concept. Because like I don't know, like there was no reason. To me, there was no reason to imagine why they wouldn't, you know, why it wouldn't be even for both players.
It's because the floodgates were open to allow something like that to happen, right? Where regardless of if the actual play was made from or not, it's still somewhat weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, well, like, this is why Pikmin 2 is weird as well, like, as a concept, because, like, you can do weird things, like, you know, like, you can make weird calls. I've definitely made the race special that I did versus Kemi, where, you know, no, and of course in that race no one ended up
Saliva
happy for
tricks?
different reasons.
Oof.
But the classic thing that I occasionally do in races, which makes Urban mad and makes everyone else mad as well, is I'm known for, if I get a SCX3 where I get extra white, so I have 25, I just skip 4. And I say, so like screw it, I'll just get a 20-second advantage over the racer and just skip 4. And sometimes this backfires for it, but you know, like unconventional stuff to win a race, I think is more common, because instead of trying to figure out like what's optimal for the PB, you literally just have to think about like how many seconds do I need to save over this guy or girl, rather, like any competitor. Oh, Jack. Okay. All right.
Well,
Well, yeah. Well, oh god, okay, at least that could have been much worse. Yeah. Oh god. Pain. Okay. Okay. This is a 4. God. Oh god. Okay. This was... Man,
That was...
I would have played it riskier, and this still made me feel like it was too close.
that was scary.
The problem, where's the both worlds? Where he was loading them, and he was just like taking so long. I'm like, oh god, oh. And one of Urban's purples tried to kill itself, so that's good. It's like running right into the void.
Ran out into oncoming traffic or whatever.
Okay, so no, Urban, the gauge! The
The
gauge!
misread.
The gauge!
Oh, there's no alcoves over here.
No.
No, it's just the hole.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
he
fine.
sees it
The only reason why you could
fast
do this
enough.
is that the gauge where Urban is right now is really high, so that it isn't the far treasure. It has to be the close one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair,
That
he's
blue.
probably feeling pretty shook after being towerless. So like making some
I think yeah. I mean, I'm being very generous to Urban here.
yeah, making some mistakes like that is definitely par for the course when you've just sort of had such a shake up to your usual game plan.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Uh,
Let's see FC6. It looks like it is not playable, unfortunately. So for anybody who doesn't know, sometimes you can get layouts on FC6 where both of the treasures are not waterlocked and they're quite close to the ship. And if you get those, they're decently rare. But if you get those, or that kind of layout, you can get both of those treasures, which is 160 extra Pokos. If the layout for FC6 was like that this race, it could have been pretty big for Urban if he played that, but that's just not an option this time, unfortunately. Ooh. Okay, that was close.
Yeah, I was close. A little bit, still, I would say less spooky than what Jack did, but pretty good. Both runners, honestly, both Jack and Urban, to be perfectly quite honest, have been getting in their plays a lot of leaf Pikmin, which have been sort of an unfortunate circumstance for both of them, I would say. Just because,
Yeah.
you know, it really slows down your gameplay a lot. Which is just a large part of the punish. I mean, Urban was able to recoup a lot of the losses there with, you know, with that nectar, but like, that nectar being in play in general just made me remind you, like, oh geez. I mean, it makes sense because, like, in general, yeah, see, and Jack's fine on the money. Like, that's the thing, is, like, it's, like, Jack is like, the bugs are low, but not low enough. Like, 8064 is lame, but you can get that money. For sure.
Yep.
I think, like, in general, one thing that, be interested to see what Urban's numbers are coming out of this. And I mean, you know, the seed was kind of chosen smartly too, because it was one of the seeds where you couldn't miss lens, which I think also was a large part in picking a good towerless seed. Because if one person got lens and the other person didn't get lens, and you had towerless, like that would have been insane. As in, like, one person would just be like actually screwed.
I guess I'll come
Whereas-
clean. I did help to find the seed, and I made sure that they would both see lens.
That's good.
But yeah, And that was also
mean-
a while ago, so I forgot about it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well then that's good. Urban has the advantage of light, which actually, normally FC7 light is nice but not necessary. This one it actually helps a lot because it meant that Urban could see this alcove in a weird spot because it's not TTB. So like, yeah, that was very good actually. So saving some here. And this just is rough when you just have no Pikmin. Which, yeah, dang. With 19 whites though, as long as you don't wake up the orange billboard prematurely, or do, never mind, you're fine. Okay, yeah, cool.
Ugh.
That was a good lure.
Yeah, it should outspeed everything else. It just should. Yeah. Really good too, COS 2, like in terms of art layout in general. I mean, by good layout, good is relative. So I mean, yes, there is in fact a very, duck behind the gate, which is generally considered an unfavorable layout. But an underrated thing here was that the other two treasures were really close, and the closest Wollywog had the treasure. So that's
Close
nice.
Wollywog having the treasure is actually kind of huge. I find that like I have a really good COS in my PB, and I find that I actually match it like almost 100% of the time if Wollywog is close. Because then even if there's like a gated duck, you can just go straight to it and like really put like 100% of your Pikmin on that, as opposed to having to like mess around with, saving some whites for like a far Wollywog and some purples and stuff. That's more damaging than people think.
Yeah, I think it's huge as well. I think another way of thinking about it is like you almost always fight that first Wollywog anyway. Like it's a sunk cost almost.
Yeah.
Like you don't always fight it, yes, but like a lot of the time you do because it's usually in a very big choke point in the sub level. See, so Urban's fine, but it's awkward. Like Urban needs, hold on. Wait.
What was this money?
Urban needs like 60, like he can still skip mine. Like it's fine. And that will also once again help recoup some of the deficit with Jack. Like I think it ultimately ended up being okay. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I think the
don't
fact
hate
that
Urban. I mean, the only reason why I hate Urban's decision to skip CS3 is I don't think it was fast, but like he had the money to do it. I just think that skip could have been used elsewhere. Like if he hadn't, like, well, in this case, in not having to do like mana, like, ha ha.
Oh, I thought those beetles were gonna.
I thought they were gonna spark too. That was
Oh, I got some more
scary.
flashbacks there. Oh my god. That certainly would have been one way.
Did Jack already get the other thing? Am I stupid?
He did. Yeah.
Okay. I must have missed it. Sorry, I missed that cutscene, and I'm like, how is he done? So like, yeah, situation made it less close, but if you think about it, oh, I knew something was off. No, he didn't get it.
You forgot it.
I knew the cutscene
Ooh.
didn't play. I knew something was not right. I could feel something wrong in my bones. In the bone. So Urban also is going to need to do a pretty serious farm here. The good news is that if he does do the serious farm, he doesn't need to get Aquatic Mine. So that is the good news. So the good news is that Mine Skip is on the table if he actually goes ham.
Maybe
Bad
he's
news,
banking
of course,
on
is that he
Cookie.
does have to do the legwork of going ham.
Yeah. He could be banking on Cookie here. That might be
Poetic?
poetic. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
No, I mean, I think he's just gonna grind. I think you can. It's gonna be slow, but there's enough anodes and there's enough stuff. I think you can grind it pretty much. I mean, what? Because yeah, he's gonna get this. So that's 5. He needs to get. When he was 46, 8146. So you need to get 34 extra.
Should have just
which
gotten Love
you can-
Nugget.
So that's, you're already 5. So if you get like just 10 Pokos, then you can grind the rest in GK6 and in getting all the grubs in 4. So you only need like 4 bugs here on 3, which we'll see. So there's 2 anodes that are close. Yeah, it might be a little forced, but shouldn't be too bad, especially because this is very good. Like, yeah, just throw like there. Boom.
Yeah, that was arguably too many on there. Like
Yeah.
just a few purples would have been fine.
Yeah, I would have just done like 2. See, I would have killed. Yeah. Oh, yep. He wants to get that one. Yeah, there we go. That guy's gonna die. Funny. They wanted to avoid that anode so much when it was actually it's like right under this anode right there. And
Yeah,
because they didn't want to get in the in front of it. Okay, Urban's just getting lost. That's unfortunate.
you gotta know the spawn points here.
I just don't. Sometimes after whistling though, they don't want to grab onto it. So I understand the confusion, but like you just have to. Oh god, it's terrifying. Yes, there it is. All right. But you should be collecting that. I would swarm some of those. At least one of them.
I don't think they would get in time. They're pretty far from the ship.
True. Actually, he still got the 3 bugs that I wanted him to get though. Nope.
Oh,
GG's.
oh goodness.
Okay, not GG's. He got it in time. I was preemptively hitting him with that GG.
You love to do that, Cat. I know you love to hit Urban with the GGs.
GG's. What? Because did that oh man, I think that snitch bug also collected. Yeah. Yeah, that was a little bit rough at the end there. For the herb. Just because like the dig was a little bit scuffed, but that happens.
The herb and the ear.
Interesting combat by Jack.
Yeah. So now that he's getting Aquatic Mine, we can see the actual sort of difference between them. Because I'm assuming Urban is not going to go for it.
No, he's fine. Urban and I talk about COS pace all the time, and he's fine. He's hit his benchmark, which is I believe 15 in here. If you usually want to do 40-60% of your deficit in COS GK respectively, and so he was 35 behind, and so he was really searching for something along the lines of 15 roughly, and he got it I think almost exactly. I mean, Urban's gonna still be 2 minutes behind, but he was like 3 minutes behind. So, say Livy, I don't know. Like he is going to get the advantage of not doing it, but it is obviously still gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, he missed the leg. You hate to miss the leg. There you go.
He failed to bisect.
True.
I mean, so Curtis, it's like 20 seconds slower than mine, which I wouldn't say is barely. Also, considering that the hole is usually further than the geyser on SCX8, I know that's like a very max 25 thing to say, but
Barely slower than mine in theory. 20 seconds. I think Curtis, with your speed, it's even less because it's 40 seconds. It's 40 seconds for mine, right? Roughly? Because I get like a 52 and then like 136. So it's like 45 seconds. Mal is 115. It's like, oh, damn.
oh, is it slow?
The bread bug.
Oh,
But it's 75. It's like it's 75 seconds. So it's 30 seconds, I would say.
okay. I was mistaken then.
Or 20 more Pokos. Like, it's fine. But I don't think it'll ever be fast. I don't know. Like,
Oh, is Jack getting Cookie? Does he need Cookie?
no. Maybe. Why? He shouldn't.
I guess for security.
I guess, I mean, Jack probably knows he's ahead. I mean, I don't know. Jack is probably, even if he's not even screen peeking, but just assuming that he plays with swagger, which he always does, he's probably banking that he's ahead, and he's just doing this for insurance so he can rush through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is big for Urban.
Yeah, because Urban does not need it.
In case of, well, I mean, Urban might need it. I mean, I think the thing is, it will help Urban on 6. Worst case, small skip on 6, yeah. I mean, it wastes no time to get, and then you can skip a small on 6, so... I mean, you can only do that normally if you're if you're up on bugs, generally, because it isn't a perfect small skip. It's, you know, 25 for 35 or 25 for 40.
Yep.
Cough, cough. Urban has too many lurkers. Too many designated lurkers. Because Urban has 16 viewers. And Pikmin community has 22.
Wait,
Like, give us
really?
your viewers. Give them.
Oh, Jack.
Oh, what happened to Jack?
Zapped.
Oh.
He got zapped.
Oh my.
Well, Jack is lucky that he had amassed a large lead.
Yeah, this is suddenly a very close race.
Especially because Urban doesn't
Yeah,
get
it's
red
not.
bug.
Oh, no.
I think
Oh
it's
no.
Urban with the snap.
that's so bullshit.
That
Yeah, they
fucking
can snap from so far
sucks.
away. Jack going
That's
to
so
two-player
dumb.
battles.
That is even
Oh.
doubly unlucky because physics. I mean, like, I don't know, like, that's dumb. That one was dumb. Urban actually
That-
got there. Jack didn't get it in time. There was other reasons why Jack missed it, but Urban actually should have saved it. Like, that should
Yeah.
not have happened.
Sucks. That might have cost the game, actually.
Probably.
No, Jack is still pretty ahead. Okay, so Urban's going for Hookie as well. But it's definitely a lot less of a lead at this point. Like if Jack gets bread bugged or something like that at any point and Urban doesn't, like the fact that Urban got bread bugged here as well is kind of a nail in the coffin. That was sort of his last hope.
Yeah.
Urban would only be. Yeah, I mean, the main thing, of course, is towerless as well. I mean, just really put him behind. I'd be like, if he would only be like 30 seconds back. And like, do we think raw that like that would be recoupable? I mean, maybe not, but at least it would have been close.
30 seconds is something that can swing based on like giant bread bug RNG, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, this definitely was a race.
Maybe the bread bug plus the knapsacks end up being the difference, you know?
Now, there's still a chance that one of them crashes.
That is true.
You're not out of the crash zone yet. Oh, base light. Don't. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, you gotta zoom in, Urban. It wouldn't be a Oh, God. Yeah. You got it. You got it. Oh, God.
It's a bit of a weird play.
Falling and I can't get up.
Okay, so no moke throws, no opportunity for someone to choke those. Gosh, every time Jack's stream like buffers for a second, I feel like he crashed.
Teehee. Wouldn't it be funny?
I mean, he has crashed in a race before, Jack.
Yeah, I know.
I think it was versus Urban, actually.
Probably.
Yeah, no, it was in the winners bracket when Jack beat Urban the first time. And Jack crashed, but at that point we didn't have the virtual mem card, and Urban like sort of like gentleman forfeited because he was really behind at that point.
Damn. Good on Urban, because I definitely would have held that. I would have 100%. I would have 100% held that. I'm just sorry. I'm gonna keep it 100. If someone crashes against me, I don't care if I was 5 minutes behind them. I would just take the W.
Yeah, that's what Curtis did when I crashed at our little impromptu race at the meetup.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know, skill issue.
I'm like, yeah, go for it.
I'm not used to seeing happiness emblem at in the light.
It's very
Yeah.
odd.
Oh Lord, I was gonna do all treasures today, but I forgot I had to commentate this race. I don't think I have time for all treasures. Maybe I'll do pay off there. In the tights? Oh, well, got the knock, but didn't affect it really. Oh no. No GK with height.
Well, Urban could still get them.
True.
And he arguably will because he's Urban. So
True. I mean, the odds are on his side. Urban's very good on Am I stupid? Wait. Yeah, he's very good on money. He literally is perfect money.
Yep.
If he gets no bugs, and only gets 1 anode and giant bread bug on 6, he gets 10 flat. And that's the thing, like, he didn't need to get Cookie. Like, he could have, like, not gotten Cookie and farmed extra hard, but, like, the fact that he, like, has perfect money now just means that he can... Or just go. You have 91 Pikmin. You have 91 Pikmin. Who cares? Stop. If you had 68, I'd be like, fine, but, like, you have 91 Pikmin.
even if you have 68, just fucking go. Like, it's fine.
Like, who cares? Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, you could lose 15 Pikmin here and have it not really matter. Especially because your money's good. Like, the only time you can really make an argument that it matters at all is, yeah, and Jack did the proper GBB route. Come on, grab onto the egg. Grab onto it. Yeah,
Yep, there he goes.
Yep.
that's how you do it.
Well, unless there's a surprise crash at some point, I think this is it. This is well and truly GG's.
Sure, yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, and you know, at the end of the day, for all of the shenanigans, Urban, you know, like, it's hard to gauge like how much of a close race is a close race, but you know, a minute behind, it's pretty respectable considering that's, you know, essentially the differences of their PBs and whatnot. So like, it makes sense, and it's all good, and definitely a lot of shenanigans happened to both people along the way. So
Yeah, for sure. Like we had the towerless, of course. We had Jack having to reset on GK3. There's the whole bread bug shenanigans. Urban skipping a
Urban
CX3.
getting bread bug, like, honestly, if Urban had not gotten bread bugged, this would have been
Way closer.
dummy close,
Yeah.
actually.
Close enough. that
I
wouldn't be able to
I was
call
thinking it wouldn't have been that close, but it actually... Okay, bread bug is also taking a fucking nap, dog. Bro, what are you doing?
Where's he going?
Yeah, no. If they were not using virtual mem card, that would have been lights for GK for Jack rather.
Yeah, I mean, Virch Men card is good for that, at least.
Hello,
GG's.
Jack.
Jack. What a race.
I'm sorry you all had to see that.
It's okay. There was a lot of other things. I mean, I know you couldn't see the other stream, but TLDR, Urban was doing some unconventional, and the money worked out for him actually, so it wasn't too bad. But he did some unconventional skips on SCX.
Oh shit, that's rough.
Yeah, so he got screwed. So he had to do mana.
Oh damn, I was about to say. I was like, wait, what the fuck? I didn't think Mana Legs was allowed. Or
Yeah, it wasn't. That was the grand finals switcheroo, and that was the real tragedy of it, right? Because it makes sense. Because Lens was almost guaranteed to be found, you know.
Mhm.
And so like, if both of you had played it the way that, you know, you did, where it's just like, oh, well, I'll just leave on 8 and get mine anyway.
Mhm.
I think it would have been fine. I think it was just weird because Urban skipped the treasure on SCX3, and so suddenly he had to do Man at Legs, and suddenly the difference between you guys got very big.
Yeah. I also can't believe I visited 2-player battle mode in that race.
That was
I thought you were
yeah.
BMing.
It was
for a second.
because I hard reset my console, but it had my controller registered as the down input straight away. So it like locked that in, so it was buffering down when I was trying to mash A.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck, I guess we're in 2-player battle now. Cool.
Yeah,
That
it was
really
weird.
is
It was
two-player
very
battle,
weird.
though.
There also was, like, Urban got bread, like, you both got bread bugged, but Urban got bread bugged in a really BM way that was kind of nuts. I don't know, there was just, like, weird there was a lot of weird stuff that both of you did.
Yeah.
The Towerless was the one that really that really made it awkward. But all things considered, you guys kind of coalesced at the very end. I mean, you both up for different reasons.
Yeah, it was fucking weird to think that was the weirdest death I think I've ever had in a run as well, or the weirdest like wipe. I was just like, wait, why no Pikmin on this back gate? And then everyone just vanished, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
What'd your final time end up being, Jack? GG, by the way.
1:40:33 and GG's. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's it? Damn,
Yeah.
I thought I was a couple minutes behind at least. That was
You
that was
were.
No.
rough.
I am so
Yeah.
sorry,
There was
Urban.
a lot of- yeah.
I
As
just
soon as
gotta
I
say,
as soon as I saw you
Wait.
take that skip on SCX3, I'm so sorry.
yeah, that's a load of bullshit. I'm just like, no, I'm fucking miffed about it, man. Like, you can't do that. I
Yeah.
explicitly had the thought in my head, oh, I don't have to worry about Towerless. I can take the skip now. And then it was goddamn Towerless,
Mm.
Yeah. There's a little
forcing
bit of-
me to do fucking Mal because I'd already skipped a treasure
You
and
already
couldn't
skipped the
afford
treasure, yeah.
the 20 Pocos to get AM
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah. It
So,
was a little,
thanks for
it
fucking
backfired.
me.
Yeah. It backfired a little bit, definitely. It was
No. It's backfiring is putting it. I'm pissed off, guys.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Well, we can. Yeah. I mean, if we need, we can definitely, recompense and whatever. But yeah, it definitely made the race very, very interesting.
It was, yeah, interesting to say the least. Because I was about to say, I even I guess mine is substantially less like irksome than Urban's, but I skipped the Ball Black's body in
Yeah.
BK7 to try and finesse the sort of skipping the 60% cutscene, and then I saw
yeah.
Towerless, and I was like, oh no, the best laid plans they're in
I mean,
ruin.
yeah. The issue is that we like explicitly make decisions as far as like how we're going to route out Pocos
Hmm.
based on like that knowledge.
Right.
I must admit,
Right.
I kind of forgot
I
about it
was
until I got there. I saw it and was like, oh, Towerless, and then I thought, I was like, wait a minute, aren't all of them meant to not be Towerless? Did Pi just sort of rush the seed, or?
I was hoping and expecting that it would be like an equal disadvantage to both of you, and it
And
didn't
it
really
decided
end
to
up
not.
that way.
So you knew it was Towerless.
Yeah.
So you intentionally gave us Pi. Come on, man.
Like
Seriously, dude.
It was.
When the explicit premise of every other seed that we've done has been the only thing you check for is not Towerless, and then we get Towerless, I am making decisions in the game based on whether or not, like, based on that information, and that's a problem in a race for it to be fair.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
I do agree that, like, I think, like, that's the weird thing about Pikmin 2 is that there are snap decisions like you can make even if they're unconventional, and so like when the routes change, or like when the parameters change, it definitely can have, unintended consequences. Like, obviously the idea wasn't to like completely screw over someone
Yeah,
trying
and
to
I
skip,
totally
but
know that. I just you gotta think about this stuff like from a fairness, like, race perspective.
yeah. I think that's kind of hard because,
Yeah,
like,
you're
yeah, like,
right.
'cause that is the thing. Like, it's all good, but like, it's like, in a, like, it's different than just like,
And
Jayhawk
I will
giving us
say,
the- yeah.
again, and like, this was a really unfortunate scenario. I'd say probably 9 out of 10 situations we're both going to be affected by that equally, but we were not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, I get the premise of why you did Towerless for this one, because Lens was like super free,
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, absolutely.
super
And
ultra
like,
free.
and
So
yeah, that would have been fine had
think
I had
I
I
think
not skipped something on 3, being like, okay, this is, and I was thinking the same thing. I need to get my bug money to the right number, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this skip on SCX3. I was like, I'm either going to skip the bolt in the beetle or the tape because I knew where my Poke money was at, and that I would be able to be like fine getting there, like it was gonna be perfect, and then it
yeah,
wasn't.
yeah. No, I mean, I think, yeah, I think it's also really hard because, like, when you get into the official, right, like, when you get into, like, it's different than, like, just, like, a weekly set seed kind of thing where, like, Jayhawk can give you, like, a death seed or whatever, and you all suffer. Like, when it's, like, grand finals of a tournament, it's hard because it's, of course, tempting to make it extra fun, but it's also, like, it's one where you gotta really think of, like, the two people who are racing, like, they're gonna be taking it really seriously, which means that if something, like, really catastrophically goes down related to the change you're making, like, that's gonna be something that ends up affecting, like, people in ways obviously, you know, beyond the machinations of what you wanted to think. Like, I think that's just where it gets a little bit more complicated. But you know, you live and you learn. So
Right.
that's
That's
I'll
fair. So what was your final time, Urban, by the way?
141.55.
yeah,
Fair.
which is
And I'm not
it's good.
saying that like me making that decision would have changed the outcome. Like it would have been closer, but I still think a minute 20 is a lot to like overcome there.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yes. Anyway, congratulations, Jack.
If
Yeah.
I
Was
ever
hoping
do
Thank
was
you.
something like
hoping
that
was
again, I
hoping
will try to be more clear. Like maybe tell.
The rules
I
are
don't
out
want
the
to
window.
say
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
like,
Yeah, I mean,
hey, this is towerless.
we know
Prepare.
what you're going for, but you know, it's like
Yeah.
best laid plans, as they say. You know, it's just I think for like especially for like the official tournament, I think this is just it's a good reminder that is as much as it would be fun to think about remixing it, there is a reason why in the beginning we wanted to keep it kosher because it just changes how the game is played, unfortunately. Especially when it's set seed and you can't reset for not towerless. Like you're forced into towerless.
But like,
So
fuck it, might as well try.
yeah, I mean, you know, so it's a different kind of scenario. But again, a learning experience for everyone was had.
Indeed.
Right.
We'll just have the most beautiful, polished set of rules for the next tournament now.
Yeah.
For
I feel
sure.
like that's almost the purpose of sort of
Yeah.
ending this.
And yeah,
The virtual
pretty
memory
much.
cards were good.
Yeah, and so for sure.
Yeah, the virtual memory card was definitely a good change.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe just not even looking at the seeds ahead of time would
Yeah,
be
to be fair, I mean,
would be a way
having
to
no
do
Yeah,
sort
it.
of guarantees.
I
it's kind of
I
that meta
actually
knowledge that
personally
makes it weird.
I never really I kind of do agree that like I don't mind conceptually having the seeds be randomly picked. I mean, towerless isn't going to be common, but if it is, as long as the thing is I think transparency for like a competitive tournament is always good. Like if the seeds just aren't vetted, I don't think that's necessarily inherently bad. I think it just we have to know that, you know.
Yeah, the
Like
problem
we
came from that you
yeah.
were expecting it to be
Right.
one way and it wasn't, and then that change ended up
Right.
affecting the two of you in an unequal way.
Yeah, I think that's a very succinct. I think that's the succinct way of putting it. So I mean, I think in general, like in the future, like it isn't even that like don't make it towerless. It's just like it conceptually more of just like if the seed is going to be randomly, or even if you could even tell the half lie and say that you're randomly picking a seed, even if you're making it tell you can say that it's but you have to somehow indicate in one way or another that towerless is a possibility, even if it's a
I just
half
think
lie.
Yeah,
I just think you
that's
don't.
Yeah.
I just think you don't set
Or just don't give them
explicit
towerless.
an explicit just I don't think you set an explicit parameter for the entire tournament until grand finals and then change it.
Yeah, I mean
Change
I
it
think
without
That's the issue
saying
here.
it.
yeah,
Like
I
even
think
if
Yeah.
right.
even if Pi had gone into this thing and said like, "Hey, for grand finals, I'm not going to be treating seeds the same way," or like something like that, just so it's in the runner's head that it is a possibility and they can play around it more efficiently.
yeah, I mean you know it's anyways yeah. All right, well,
Right. And I'm
all
learn
good.
from that and
Any
we will
case,
try to do better in the future, I guess.
all good.
So
Well,
good.
I
And
think it's about
unfortunately
time that we wrap
that's
things up.
Time for
Thankfully, it
the
wasn't like a
grand
3-second
finals
difference.
match of two-player battle.
Before we go offline, does anyone want to admit they have a crush on me? No. It's,
Anyway, guys. Anyway, bye.
yeah, bye, guys.
All right. See ya.
Bye,
And thanks everyone
everyone.
for